Sports 16 TV on location tonight from Hopkins High School. I'm Robert Christensen, and tonight we're bringing you high school section quarterfinal volleyball from Hopkins High School. We have the St. Louis Park Orioles ranked number 5 in the section against number 4 Edina. And we are about to begin. St. Louis Park is on the left in white. Edina Hornets are in green on the right, and we are about to begin a best-of-5 series. The winner of this match will take on Hopkins, who earlier in this arena defeated the Burnsville Braves 3-0. That match, if it should happen between either of these teams and Hopkins, will be next Tuesday on Halloween at 5:30 at Robbinsdale Cooper High School. So we're about to begin, and that is Edina serving first. And a big spike and out. Number 2, Ella Trotter there. First attempt at a spike. She is one of their better players. Needs to have a good night to beat Edina. I should note that these teams met once earlier this season back on October 3rd, and Edina swept them 3-0. So 1-0 Edina here early, game 1, and there's a big spike by number 10, Lauren Turner, senior. Gets the second point of the match. Look at the power on that spike. Service is out. Number 2, Ella Haugen, the junior, sails it long. So first point for St. Louis Park, and their first side out. Serving is Ella Trotter, number 2, likes to do this big leaping jump serve. And that goes in right at the baseline. And she ties it up here, 2-2. What a great serve. Look at the spin on that ball. When she's on, she can really make them. And there's another good serve. Saved by Edina and bumped over there by number 14, Taylor Operpriller. Ball still alive, bumped over there by number 4, Lindgren for St. Louis Park. Bumped by Trotter. And nice drop shot by Kenda Coley, the 5'10 freshman for St. Louis Park, gets the third point and St. Louis Park's first lead. Look at the touch on that. She saw the soft spot in the middle and put it there perfectly. Trotters, this time the jump serve backfires, goes into the net, so that is a point for Edina. And service to them. Serving for them is Taylor Check, junior. Jump serve in, back row by Maddie McIntosh, and that was Kim Lindgren with the spike, blocked by Edina well. Big set for number 9, Christine Graf, the junior for Edina, scores for them on that kill shot. Look at the power on that replay. Nothing Maddie McIntosh could do with that. 4-3 Hornets. Check serves again, and this time it sails long. So early on, we're even all, 4-4. And to serve is Maddie McIntosh, junior, 5'6". Service is in, and it goes off. Number 20, Masha Feldman, senior, unable to handle that service, so 5-4 Orioles. McIntosh to serve for her second consecutive point. Nice serve right over the net. Big spike there. Number 20. That was Feldman, the senior. Tied up again, 5-all. And now serving there, number 4 is Kat Warpinski, a sophomore. Wow, nice block there by number 7, Elena Bohr, junior, outside hitter. There she is. Watch her get up there and block that attempt by the freshman, Kenda Coley. 6'5" Edina on that block. Point to Edina. And so that means Kat Warpinski will serve her third consecutive time here. Ball is in. Reagan Alexander with that big spike. Edina saves it. McIntosh with the bump. Number 7 is Ostad, and the push over, and point goes to St. Louis Park on that. They win back the serve, and a point, just down 1, 7-6. Tight match here in game 1, and it should be. St. Louis Park is the number 5 seed. Edina is the number 4. Michaela Windward to serve, number 15. 5'7" sophomore, and that ball is called in, and look at the power on Edina's kill shots. Bang, my goodness. Yeah, on the replay, it may have been out. I did notice the back row for the Orioles looked a little shocked at the call. Lindgren with the nice kill shot, goes off Edina's block attempt, so now it's 8-7. And back to serve now is Kim Lindgren. In the first round, she had a great night serving. Let's see if she can follow that up here in the quarterfinals. And unfortunately, it sails long. So point and service goes to Edina. They've opened up now a small 2-point lead, and to serve is number 9, Christine Graf, the junior outside hitter. Gets the ball in. Tipped over there by number 16, Hannah Howell. And the big spike there by Elena Bohr. Service to St. Louis Park. Number 8, Addie Ward to serve. Addie's a 5'6" sophomore. Just down 1 point here. First game of a best-of-5 series, and a little lack of communication on the side of Edina allows the Orioles to tie it up 9 apiece. So that means Ward will get to serve again. Got to win by 2. First one to 25. Here's the serve. Nice bump there by Warpinski for Edina, and the spike attempt gets blocked, and here comes Ella Trotter, and her spike goes off Edina, and now the Orioles have the lead, 10-9. Ella Trotter, there she is. Watch her form. Big power on that spike attempt. Works out for the Orioles now. Addie Ward for her 3rd consecutive serve. Bohr hits it over. Chance here for the Orioles, and the drop shot, and we have a whistle, and I believe that may have been a net violation. Nice job there by Kenda Coley with the drop shot, and so now Ward will go for her 4th point in a row, and now the Orioles have a 2-point lead, their biggest lead of the night in game 1. And here's the serve. Gets it in, it goes deep. Edina's in trouble on this one. They're gonna just have to bump it over. A chance for the Orioles. Spike to Trotter, and she finds Goodwood inside the lines, and a beautiful play. The Orioles took advantage of the poor receptor on the serve, and that means Ward is going for serve number 6. And she is really hot, and now a 3-point lead. Beautiful deep serve. Bohr with the spike, gets blocked, and double hit by Edina. Another point for the Orioles. Now they're up 4, and we got a timeout taken by Edina, and not a bad decision if you're the coach, Nicole Higley, for those Hornets. They were playing even volleyball throughout, and just when Addie Ward, the sophomore, came to serve, she rips off 6 points. And those services are not to be underestimated on their impact. And the reason why I think they're working is because they're getting really deep in the back line every time and in with some amount of pace. And that's, the Hornets have had a hard time handling it. Their back row needs to play a little tighter if they want to stop the bleeding here. So, hey, we got the brackets here. And you can see Edina and St. Louis Park there are the third and fourth teams on your left, and you can see the winner will play Hopkins, the #1 ranked team who swept Burnsville earlier this evening. Also playing today has been St. Margaret's and Washburn. That game is probably over by now. As soon as we get a result, we'll let you know. And then we have Armstrong Southwest going on simultaneously at Cooper. Okay, about to begin after the timeout. Addie Warg serving for St. Louis Park. 4-point lead, and she is on a roll going for her 7th consecutive point. And that, boy, it sails wide, long, I should say, and the timeout worked for Nicole Higley. Cooled off Warg, and she sends it long. So now Edina to serve. Number 20 at the service line is Masha Feldman. And she looks determined, and here comes the serve, and nice crisp serve right over the net. Here comes Trotter. Edina scrambling, and they save it. Opportunity for the Orioles. Who's gonna get the chance? Number 15, Windward. Great job on that, but it went wide, so Edina gets the point and maintains service. We got a stoppage. Referee's talking to the scorer's table. Not sure what the issue is. Substitution. Okay, we're about to resume. So again, that's Masha Feldman serving, and this time she hits it into the net, so side out to the Orioles, and they also get a point, so it's a 3-point lead for them. And now to serve is Julia Ostad, the senior, 5'5". She is a very good server. If she gets hot, look out, Hornets. Nice serve into the back row. Here comes the spike and the block and the save. Chance here for the Orioles. Who's gonna get it? And Kendall Coley got a great opportunity, and her kill shot went just wide of the line. You can see right there. Yep, it looked wide. Good call by the linesman. So now serving for the Hornets is number 2, Ella Haugen. And the Orioles win that. Nicely placed by the Orioles on that, and that means Ella Trotter will serve with her big service toss here and jump serve. She will test the back line if she can get it over and fair. That's where Edina's shown some weakness. Nice on that. Look at the torque on that serve. I don't know if we can ever replay of that, but that was amazing. You can just see that thing dive. All right, she's gonna serve again. Same thing. This time they barely save it. Nice job there by Edina. And here comes Lindgren. Save. No net violation. Kendall Coley, the 5'10" freshman, was there to make sure. Great body control by her. Here is Lindgren's, and what a nice save there. But the save went, she couldn't control it, and it just got over the net. And here comes Trotter looking for her third consecutive point. Chance here for the Orioles. Oh, mishandled the set, so they got to play defense. Chance for the Hornets. Nice block, saved. And the dunk shot works. Number 14 for Edina, Taylor Oberpriller, the senior, uses her experience and finds the open spot. But a nice series of service points there for Ella Trotter, and there's a 4-point lead. Serving now, number 1 is Taylor Check. Big spike kill shot by Kim Lindgren. 5-point lead for the Orioles, their biggest of the night. 7 points from game 1. Maddie McIntosh. Nice serve. Here comes the Hornets. Big spike and a nice save by Ostad, number 7. Incredible, keeps that alive. Keeps this one alive. Trotter spikes it from mid-row. Big spike by number 9, Christine Graf, and just too much, but what a rally, the longest rally of the night. Great volleyball action displayed by both teams, showing why they both deserve to be here in the quarterfinals. Excellent volleyball action. So 14, Edina, 18, St. Louis Park. To serve, Kat Warpinski, the sophomore. And we got a violation against Edina at the net. So that means point and side out to St. Louis Park and timeout on the court. Game 1. St. Louis Park, ParkTV 16 Sports has brought you a few of those matches. And I can tell you, we did one in late August. We've done one in late September, early October, and just last week, or earlier this week. And they have really shown improvement over that course of time. They look even better than they did just the other night. And it's showing on the court. They got beat 3-0 by Edina at Edina High School back on October 3rd. And now they got a chance to take game 1. It's a long haul, best of 5. Number 4 seed against number 5 seed. We might be here a while, something tells me. So the Orioles are gonna serve, and they've got an experienced, effective server in Michaela Winward. She can get hot too, 5'7" sophomore. Gonna try to close this out. They're 6 points from game 1. And she sends that out. Very disappointing if you're an Oriole fan. You don't want to give Edina any chance to get back in this. Now checking in is number 6 for Edina, Grace Hammerski, and they've obviously brought her in to serve. So here she is. And it goes right into the net. They give it right back. A break for the Orioles. So now Kim Lindgren will serve, and she had an excellent night in the first round against Richfield. Much tougher opponent tonight, obviously. Edina's ranked higher. Nice serve. Edina struggled with the back row. And that set went awry. Got over the net and was set up there for Reagan Alexander, the other 5'10" freshman. Just tips it right over the front line in the open space there. Found the soft spot of the zone. Oh, wait a minute. They gave that back to Edina. There must have been a violation. So that means Edina serves, and that's Christine Graf scores on her serve. And now we have another timeout, and it's getting tight here. Just a 3-point lead by the Orioles. They've given away a couple points here. And their coach, Whitney Mariotto Simon, talking it over. This is where the mental toughness aspect comes in. St. Louis Park is playing a very good Edina team here, and they've got to take it through. They're just 5 points from it. They've been playing well. And so we'll see what happens. So probably a good timeout here for the Orioles. Settle down the team, have them keep their edge. So just 10 seconds left here in the timeout. And we'll see if Coach Mariotto Simon's words has any positive impact. Hopefully they will. First match is already gone, coming up here on 25 minutes, so very close match. Trotter. Saved by Edina. Bohr, what a spike by her. Number 7, Elena Bohr, 6 foot tall, gets a hold of this one and puts it down. Look at the torque on that shot. nicely played. Now Edina within 2. And Bohr scores another one and brings her team within 1. She is on a roll. Look at that. She met that ball right where she needed to, met it right at the apex, and St. Louis Park had no time to react. And now another serve by Graf, brings it for 3 in a row, and now we're tied at 20. Orioles got to find an answer to Graf here. They want to win game 1. They had a 5-point lead just a moment ago. Got to stop the bleeding. Lindgren to McIntosh. Trotter will get it to the back row. Nicely done. Edina, Bohr saves it. Here comes Park, Ella Trotter. Nicely saved there by Hammerski. And here comes Bohr again with another score. Her 3rd point in a row. She's brought them back from 18 to 21, and now the lead. Number 7 is having a great night. Edina with their first lead since early on. Graf to serve for her 4th consecutive point, and they score it again. I think that was number 10, Lauren Turner, on that one, the senior, in the middle, and we got another timeout. Edina has stormed back here. They were down, I think it was 20 to 15 at one point. They've reeled off 7 consecutive points, and they are poised to try to close this out. The combination of Christine Graf serving and Elena Bohr at the front line. She has tallied off 3 of the last 4 points, leading this comeback. The question remains, can the Orioles dig deep here and come up with a side out? They need to do a good job with this serve of Graf. Get themselves set up for a good shot. Someone at the front line. Okay, here's Graf to serve. Gets it in, nice bump by Lindgren, windward to Trotter. That's what they wanted, and it worked. It's exactly what they needed to have. Lindgren set it up with a bump out of the timeout. We'll see if that changes the momentum here or if it's just going to be temporary. We're down to the end here, game 1. And in to serve is Addie Warg, who railed off 6 earlier in the match, so we'll see if she can retain her hot hand, and she gets it in. And nicely done there by Edina with the fake set. Ella Haugen, number 2, looked like she was going to set one of her teammates and instead just duped it into the soft part of the Orioles defense and found the open spot on the dunk shot. So that brings to Marcia Feldman to serve. Gets it in, windward to Trotter. And that ball was hooking towards that baseline and just went long. It's hard to see with the glare on the court, with the type of lighting they have here, but now it is game point for Edina, and have they stormed back. Trotter with the bump. They're going to give it back to her, and why not? And she goes out with it. And game 1 goes to the Edina Hornets. Or wait a minute. Nope, there must have been a violation. I thought they called it out, so yep, the Orioles, or maybe it was tipped, but so nevertheless, Ostad to serve. Orioles are still alive. Ostad with the set to Trotter, and she tries the dunk shot, saved by number 23, Nielsen. Play at the net. Edina has it, they save it. Lindgren with the bump, and the stuff by number 10, Lauren Turner, ends game 1 in favor of the Hornets. They came back from a 20 to 15 deficit to win it. Here is the replay. And yeah, that looked like number 10, Lauren Turner, won it there on the great jump. So that concludes game one. Edina comes back to win it. Come back for game two.
You're always trying to keep your kids safe, right? What about preventing concussion? Concussion can happen anywhere, on a sports field, at the park, even at home. So you need to know the ABCs. Assess the situation, be alert for signs and symptoms, and contact a healthcare professional. Most kids recover completely, but seek care to help them get better faster. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. Keep kids safe. It's as simple as ABC.
Welcome back to ParkTV 16 Sports on location at Hopkins High School, Minnesota. We are here with quarterfinal action. St. Louis Park and Edina. We just concluded game one where Edina came back from a 20-15 deficit to win it 25-20. And now we're about to begin game two. They switch sides, so the Green Hornets will be on our left and the Orioles in white will be on our right, and they will have the honors of serving first, and that is Julia Ostad. We'll see how they come back mentally. They were in control of game one and let it get away from them, and they let the first service point get away from them as well, and so point one in game two goes to Edina, and that means Christine Graf, who closed out game number one serving, is serving to start game two, and they call it in. It went off, I think, the sleeve of Lindgren. Otherwise, that ball was going long. So now 2-0, Graf to serve once again. And that time it does go long. No one for the Orioles touched it. So they're on the board 2-1 here early in game two. And Maddie, nope, that's Ella Trotter, their outstanding hitter. She gets it in. That was a great serve. Here comes Elena Bohr. She tries to dink it in there, and there's a whistle and a violation. So the Orioles even it up at 2. Not sure what that was. I think maybe the net. Trotter to serve. The big jump serve gets in. Nicely done. When you do it right, they're very difficult to return, and that's why. So if she can get really consistent with that serve, she can do some damage tonight here. All right, Ella Trotter, the big service toss. Look at that. Gets it in, nicely done. She's on a roll, and that ball goes wide. Lauren Turner, number 10, the senior hitter. She got a good look at it, and nice body control there by Maddie McIntosh, avoiding it from hitting her and losing that point. And nicely done. Edina on the defensive, but Elena Bohr, this 6-foot junior, comes up big time over there. Look at her approach. The swing of the arms gets all her power up there, and she just brings it all into that ball, and she is on a roll tonight. That's her 4th point in the last 10 minutes. So side out to St. Louis Park. Up 5-3. They were up early, not exactly right away in game one. Maintained the lead throughout the middle of it. But nice for them to have a lead here on the highly rated Edina team. And now they open up a 3-point lead. So far, the effects of that frustrating loss of game one doesn't seem to be having any mental effect on the Orioles. And Maddie McIntosh about to serve for her 2nd time in game two. And that time it gets away from her and she hits the net. So point inside out to the Hornets. And that is number 2. Ella Haugen to serve. Ball goes in. That was 14, Reagan Alexander, saved by the Hornets. And nice kill shot there by Macy Nielsen, the junior outside hitter. Hit St. Louis Park. They tried to save it. Look at that save right there. That was incredible. Alexander's kill shot goes wide and long. So point, and now it's tied up. And service goes to number 2, Ella Haugen. And she wastes no time, gets it in just over the net. Ostad with the set to windward, and that goes off Edina. So point inside out for the Orioles, 7-6. So much like game 1, back and forth, tied up early. Very, very similar pattern here in game 2. And so now windward, number 15, Michaela. 5'7" sophomore, trying to reel off some points, and she can be dangerous on service. I've seen her do it, reel off several points in a row. Edina has to play defense. Opportunity here for Reagan Alexander, and this time she goes wide again. She's had 2 opportunities, unforced errors there, I would say, costing the Orioles, but still just tied early in game 2, and now to serve is Taylor Check. She gets a nice, powerful serve to the back line, but Lindgren with the spike, the block at the net, saved by the Orioles, tipped by Edina, and they find the open space. And there was a collision between Lindgren and number 23, Macy Nielsen, who I think made that play. She did, and then Lindgren fell into the net and to her. And there she went down. Looks like everyone's going to be okay. So Czech will serve again with a 1-point lead. Lindgren has difficulty with that. Trotter, nicely done from the middle of the back. Lindgren saves another one. McIntosh back to Lindgren, lets it go, and it goes off Czech. So point inside out. Game 2 tied at 8. 6 AAA quarterfinal action from Hopkins High School. Lindgren to serve. Check with the bump. Big spike. Left-handed by number 14, Taylor Oberpriller, the senior. Sails it wide right. So a 1-point lead now, and Lindgren to serve. Once again, number 4 gets it in, and it goes off Graf, but they save it. Unbelievable by the Hornets. Will the Orioles take advantage? And Hannah Howell, I believe, is on that spike attempt, gets blocked at the net, side out, and point to Edina, and a tie score at 9. Elena Bohr back in. I should say that she is actually my second cousin, Elena Bohr. First time I've ever seen her play. She's having a great night for the Hornets. And point this time to the Orioles. Substitution, Addie Worgan. She had a good service game in game 1. Also in number 24 for the Orioles, Kendall Coley. And there is Addie Warg. Just a sophomore. Good jump serve, goes deep into the second row for Edina, and here they come. Graf with the big spike, blocked at the net. And this time, Graf finds Pater and Wood on the Orioles side for the point, and a 10-10 tie. Here she is, big, and just the block just missed it. Reagan Alexander, Hannah Howell just missed it, or they did a good job directing it. So now serving number 6 is Grace Hammerski. Trotter, block attempt, saved. They're coming back with Graf, blocked at the net by Alexander and Howell, number 24 and number 16. Let's see who got it. Oh, Alexander totally got it right on her wrist there. Nicely done. And now a 1-point lead. And Julia Ostad to serve. Nice serve there. A Bohr taps it over. Goes off an Oriole, and Ostad had come up to try to save it, but unable to do so. So now we're tied at 11. This is about the time of the match when the Orioles, at least in game one, started to open up a lead, but right now we are deadlocked at 11, and Kendall Coley dinks it over. Here comes Elena Bohr, and she finds pay dirt. Another kill shot by her. She's having an excellent night. Look at that. Gets back, swings those long arms, and gets high up there and lets it go like a whip. Okay, here comes Graf. Ella Trotter will try to stop their scoring, and she does as it goes off Graf's left wrist. Nicely done, and now Trotter will follow that up with service opportunity for her. Big high toss, and she does a good job getting in. Edina does a miraculous job saving that. Here comes Lindgren. Saved by Edina, tip at the front, and oh no, it's saved by Edina. My goodness, everyone, Orioles were celebrating, and they kept their wherewithal and came back and were able to still finish out the point. Watch that save. That's the second time that check for Edina has done that. Just sticking your hand out there. Look at that. Look at that. Second time tonight they've done that. Meanwhile, Edina wins the last point and the service. So it was 13-12. Now it's 13 all. And Edina to serve. And that is number 20, Masha Feldman. Deep to McIntosh, to Ostad, to Windward. Off Edina. Boy, she placed that well, Windward did. That was all Windward, and she put it in a place where the momentum of number 6 for Edina, Grace Hammerski, was taking her out of bounds. Well done by St. Louis Park, 1-point lead. And that is Maddie McIntosh to serve, and she gets a nice one deep with pace. Edina will have to play oh, nice job there. Kill attempt from deep by Edina. Ostad, that was Ward that sent it deep. Or Hannah Howell was that? No, that was Windward. Nicely done. Edina can't handle it, and now a 2-point margin for the Orioles, and Maddie McIntosh to serve again. Ooh, she got away with one. I think that was going long. Well done. She placed it where, basically a handcuff check on that. Lindgren with the spike, and it's in. Well done by Kim Lindgren. Look at that. Bang. There's a lot of pace and a lot of torque, and just threads the needle there between two Edina players. 3-point lead. Maddie McIntosh going for a 3rd point in a row. Gets it inside to the back row, and that ball is, I think the linesman didn't see it, deferred to the net judge. Let's see here. Oh, we may be, yeah, it looked like it was probably in, although there was the coach there, Simon, for the Orioles. We couldn't quite see for sure. Nevertheless, Orioles 2-point lead. Nice block there at the net by Reagan Alexander. Another one by Alexander, 2 in a row. Gets the point, 3-point lead, and service 2. Is it gonna be Ella Trotter? No, it's gonna be Windward. Watch this sequence, bang. Wow, beautiful. Straight up, straight down, no net violations, no neutral zone violations. Windward to serve, gets it to the back row nicely. And nicely done there on the kill shot, Lauren Turner. May have been going long. Whitney Mariotto Simon is off the bench. She is into this match. Orioles do not want to go down 2-0 in this best of 5. Trotter from the back row keeps it alive. And Graf with the spike attempt did go off an Oriole, I think, on the front row. So now they've closed the margin. And they're coming back much like they did in game 1. They're still down 16-17. And check will serve, number 1. And Trotter gets it in the back row, comes up to Hannah Howell, and they call it in. I think the linesman deferred to the net judge, which I can't imagine, but that ball looked into me or right on the line. Oh yeah, she caught the line. Good call by their officials, 2-point lead. Nice camera work by ParkTV, 16 camera guys. Let's see, big serve there. And what a kill shot by number 16, Hannah Howell. 5'10" freshman, 1 of 4 on the Oriole team, and she gives them a 3-point lead. And timeout by Edina. Boy, this game 2 is really mirroring what game 1 looked like. It was 20-15 when Edina made their comeback in game 1, and now it's 19-16. So the cushion is actually less if you're the Orioles. So the real question is, can they turn the tide, or is this going to be a pattern of the games tonight? If you're an Oriole fan, let's hope not. And there is their coach, Whitney Mariota Simon, coaching them on what to do. Basically, you just want to keep that ball in bounds. We can see number 24, Coley, she is fired up, shaking her hand. She's ready to go. Hornets are already out on the court, chit-chatting away. Here come the Orioles. Let's see who has the will to win game 2 here. Be a big upset. Orioles have lost 4 games in a row, 3 in October, 1 tonight. Lindgren to serve. Gets into the back row. Edina in saving mode. Opportunity for the Orioles. Who's going to get it? Trotter is, and she does well with it. Big kill shot. Block attempt goes off their hands. 20-16. This is almost exactly a carbon copy of game 1. Lindgren to serve. Trying to break that 20-point barrier. I think they never got past 20 last game. Oh, and it goes off windward. Unfortunately for them. So now it's 3-point lead for Edina, or no, excuse me, the Orioles, of course, and now Edina. Will they mount their comeback as they did last time? Leading them on that at service, Kat Warpinski, the sophomore, and she gets her first serve into the back row. Trotter from deep in the front row. Looked like it might have been going long. Edina does save it. Maddie McIntosh comes up with a huge bump. And a great shot there by number 16, Hannah Howell. But it was all Addie McIntosh that saved that. And now they've got 21, exceeded their point total from game 1. See if they can carry it through to even this matchup at 1 game apiece. That is number 8 serving, Addie Ward. Here comes Edina, saved by the Orioles. Trotter. Here comes Edina. They are fast. Spike attempt, weak. Here come the Orioles. Trotter needs to save it. And she goes into the neutral zone. Point to Edina. Nothing she can do. Catch 22. She was running as fast as she could to catch up to the ball, and to stop herself would have been next to impossible. So that means serving for the Edina Hornets is Taylor Oberpriller, and her serve goes deep. Edina, oh, Maddie McIntosh comes up with her second bump saving, and this time Hannah Howell has difficulty with the kill shot. Still 2-point lead and a timeout on the court. 21-19, big game 2 for both teams. Neither team, well, Edina doesn't, well, if you're the Orioles, you don't want to be down 2-0 to the Hornets. Putting the pressure on to win 3 in a row against a team that's ranked higher, both in the seeds and in the Metro rankings. But the Orioles and the Hornets are both playing great volleyball tonight. So the Hornets are out. There's the coach for St. Louis Park, Whitney Mariotto Simon. Giving last minute instructions. We got 8 seconds left in the timeout. Here come the Orioles. 4 points from victory. Edina will serve. Taylor Oberpriller. McIntosh, Lindgren, Howell saves it. Chance for the Hornets to put one away here, and Elena Bohr does just that. Number 7 comes through big late in game 2, much as she did in game 1, and bang, look at the trajectory of that shot. That is big time. Okay, number 14, Taylor Oberpriller, first, second service game in a row. Trotter, and she finds pay dirt. Look at the top spin heat on that. She took a little something off that one and gives St. Louis Park a much needed point. She just found, look at the curve on that thing. Diving Hornets can't catch up to it. 3 points from victory. And that is Ostad to serve, gets it deep. Number 9, Graf. Maddie McIntosh bumps it over, chance for the Hornets. And Bohr taps it over, and they save it. Advantage Orioles here, they got a chance. And Coley's spike attempt, ball didn't get very high, and she didn't get very high, and that allowed Edina to block it easily. Yeah, the timing was off, a little far from the net. So now serving for Edina is number 8, M.K. Sipes. Into the match, she's a senior. Windward with the shot, and she finds the opening deep in the corner, and now it's 23-21, side out, and their leader, senior number 2, Ella Trotter, to serve. She's got that big jump service toss. Doesn't want it to fail, she gets it in. Nice job. And the block, nicely done by Kendall Coley. McIntosh. That was Ostad. No, that was Windward. And the point, and it's now game point for game 2. St. Louis Park fans here are excited. They are pounding the benches. Trotter, game point. Turner, the set was off, she goes out of bounds, and that gives the point and the game 2 victory to your St. Louis Park Orioles. They even the match at 1 game apiece in this best of 5. Come back for the exciting game number 3.
Introducing a breakthrough in time management technology. A whole new day of the week. It's called Someday. Ingenious. Perhaps someday you are going to go skydiving. Enter a hot dog eating contest. Maybe ride a mechanical bull. Now it's on the calendar. You may want to retire someday. Ready for that? You'll really want this. A My Social Security account at socialsecurity.gov. You can estimate your future benefits, plan for your retirement, and how to save for it. If you already receive benefits, you can manage them online. Millions of people already have a My Social Security account. In fact, someone opens one about every 6 seconds. Get yours today, because someday is here at socialsecurity.gov.
Welcome back to ParkTV 16 Sports on location from Hopkins High School, Minnesota. We are here for 6 AAA quarterfinal high school volleyball action. If you're just joining us, we're about to begin game 3. Edina won game 1, 25-22 after a great comeback led by Elena Bohr and also Christine Graf. And then game 2, The Orioles took it, and we're about to begin game 3. Edina with the first service, and the first kill shot attempt is by Trotter, number 2 for the Orioles. And that goes out of bounds, so point number 1 this time to Edina. And to serve is number 2, Ella Haugen. And Maddie McIntosh has trouble with that bump attempt, so point number 2 to Edina. They're off to a good start, having just given up their first game of the season. They were 4-0 in games. Here comes Windward, and she finds Pater for the Orioles, and they get their first point of game 3. So we're already almost exactly an hour. We're just through 2 games. This is going to be a war tonight. Both teams seem very evenly matched. Windward tries to dink it deep. Saved by number 20, Masha Feldman. Here come Lindgren. Number 23, Nielsen to the deep row, and there is Ostad, number 7. Or was it number 15, Windward? Maybe it was Windward. Let's see. Oh yeah, Windward. Big time. Second kill shot of game 3. Ties it at 2. Trotter to serve. And now it just barely gets over the net. And Turner, number 10 for Edina's kill shot, sails long. And now the Orioles have a 3-2 lead. Trotter to serve again. So we'll see as this match wears on. Those jump serves take energy. And that one got over, but they are shorter than they were earlier on. We'll have to watch that. But regardless, it results in a second consecutive point for Trotter, and she will go for serve number 3 in a row. Game 3 up 4-2. And that ball goes in. Miscommunication there between Taylor Check and number 23, Macy Nielsen. So Trotter will go for number 4. She closed out game number 2. Ball goes deep, nicely in. Now she's finding a range. Big hit there by number 14 for Taylor Oberperler, but she sends it way wide right. Point to the Orioles. 4-0 lead, their largest lead this early in the match, or in a game. Trotter going for a 5th point, saved by the Orioles. Wow, miraculously done. Ostad, Windward, how did they save that? Look at that extension, and then the quick up by Windward. She didn't carry the ball, 5-point lead. Ball makes it over, hits the net, saved by Turner. McIntosh, beautiful bump. Here comes Windward, saved by number 23, Nielsen deep. Ostad to McIntosh, to Windward. She dunks it in there, saved by Check. Unable to get it up to her teammate, and now it's 8-2, 6-point lead. Early timeout by the Hornets, and the St. Louis Park Oriole fans are on their feet, cheering this great start here in game 3 by the St. Louis Park Orioles. And you look at Edina, and there is a look of concern on their faces. They weren't looking for this. They did, as I've said a few times already tonight, took care of St. Louis Park 3-0 back on October 3rd. But having watched the Park Orioles, they have improved, and they're continuing to improve before your eyes. When they come out of the timeout, oftentimes that's just to cool off a hot server, and obviously Ella Trotter is very, very hot. She's got 6 in a row. Oftentimes, though, after a timeout, it does work. I've seen it. It chills out the server. Let's see if Ella Trotter can overcome that and continue her streak. Here she goes. And nicely done. She had that in. It was a nice serve, big spike, and they call that one in. I think that was number 14 for Edina. Oberpriller. Yeah, there she is. Big left hand, and yeah, she found that was a beautiful shot by her from the left side. All right, check to serve. And that goes off McIntosh. Well placed by Taylor Check. And Taylor spells her name Taelyr. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Czech, Czech, just like Czechoslovakia. Coley gets it over. Oh my goodness, Graf sent that right into Windward. You could hear the impact of the ball against Windward's hands. And that results in a point for the Hornets nevertheless. Check to serve again, going for her third point in a row. Ostad now to Windward. Tried to find the soft spot. Check saves it. Graf again, and this goes off the block and point to the Hornets. So they have now narrowed the margin. It was 8-2 before Czech started serving. Look at the power there. Yep, there was just that little opening there between Windward and the net. Here comes Lindgren, and she places it right on the line. And I should tell you, my vantage point is right on that line. And that was right on the line. I could see with my own eyes, or actually just in. There is a glare on the court that does make it sometimes difficult to see exactly where the ball lands. McIntosh to serve, 3-point lead, game 3. Graf gets blocked, but it goes out of bounds. This time they were there at the front line. It looks like number 14, Reagan Alexander, along with Windward, number 15. But the ball goes over to Edina, and number 4 will serve, Kat Warpinski. And she finds the back corner. Mental lapse there by the Orioles, letting that go between Lindgren and Trotter. So now 1-point lead. Trotter from deep in the back row, and it goes out of bounds after hitting the net. Did not touch any Edina player on the front line, so that means it's tied. So Warpinski going for her third point in a row here in game 3. All tied up. Trotter from deep in the first row is deep. Elena Bohr, nicely done. Scores another one. Great body control and timeout. And Edina now has the lead at 10-9, and the Orioles will talk it over to try to stop the bleeding here. Back and forth all night long, both these games. Each team has had their chance to have the lead, only to lose it, to give it back, lose it, give it back. And then the Orioles in game 1 opened up a lead, 5 points, 20-15, and then the Hornets came back winning that one 25-22, and then basically just the opposite, back in game 2, back and forth, back and forth. St. Louis Park opened up the lead, but this time they held onto it and won 25-22, same score, but reverse. So that is the pattern, and this game 3 is following suit. Only 1 point separates them, nearing the halfway point. Best to 25, winning by 2 will take the pivotal game 3. Okay, still serving is Warpinski for Edina. Lindgren with the nice job. Took it easy on the kill shot, went off, I believe, number 14, Taylor Oberpriller on the front line as she had moved up. And the ball found its way in, and now Windward, number 15, to serve for the Orioles, tied at 10. And we were tied at 10 last game. Unfortunately, her ball sails into the net. Unforced error on the first serve. Want to keep those to a minimum. So far, the Orioles have been doing that, and they are competitive when they're able to get those first serves in with any team. And we got a whistle and point to Edina. I think we had a neutral zone violation or a net violation on the Orioles. So now Edina's opened up their, or equal their biggest lead. I think they were up 2-0 right at the beginning. Number 14 serving, that's Oberpriller, and they get the point. And now it's their biggest lead of game 3. 13-10. Oberprillo to go for her second consecutive point. Windward to Lindgren, and it goes off the Edina, and point for the Orioles, so they stop the mini bleed there, and they're just down 2. And to serve is number 4, Kim Lindgren, the senior outside hitter. Nice serve. Bohr with the attempt, and that goes in, and she gets another point tonight. 6-foot junior. Gives Edina the 3-point lead. And to serve is Graf, and she and Bohr are a dangerous combination when Graf is serving. And Trotter comes up big time for the Orioles. And Graf in the back row is unable to handle that powerful kill shot. Oh, I guess there was a violation at the net. So point goes to Edina, and the serve. Must have been a body control issue running into the net or something. Didn't see it myself. Was too focused on that great kill shot. Okay, Graf to serve again, 4-point lead, and this time it sails wide and I believe a little bit long, so nevertheless it's out. So point to St. Louis Park. Substitutions now. Number 24, Kendall Coley comes in. Also number 8, Addie Ward, probably to serve. Yep, she's gonna serve. So down 3, Ward looking to tie it up here with a few good service tosses. Here she goes. Saved there by 4, Warpinski. Elena Bohr sends it into the big wall up front. That's Hannah Howell, number 16. And number 24, Kendall Coley with the wall, and they get the point. And Ward will serve again. Just down 2 now. So point there goes to Warg, so she is gonna go for her 4th consecutive point. 15-14, now just down 1. Warpinski tries to dunk it in there. Orioles scrambling, they get it over. Look out, here comes Elena Bohr, and it's blocked at the net. Number 16, Hannah Howell, the 5'10" freshman, meets Elena Bohr's kill shot and sends it right back at the Hornets for the point and the tie game. Look at that action. Her wrists are gonna be red after that shot. Holy smokes. Bohr gets it in again. She's on a roll like she was game 1. Here comes Bohr, and this time she is not denied. She finds kill space there. Gives Edina the 1-point lead. Number 7, bang, the redhead gets it down. Wow. Now into the match is number 21, Sarah Bohr. That is the sister of Elena and also my second cousin. And she will serve. Or no. Oh, and that ball just goes out. So now it's tied. Sarah Bohr unable to score on her first attempt, but she remains in the match. We're tied at 16. It's really first 1 to 9 wins by 2 for game 3. There's the set, goes to Turner, and it's blocked at the net by Trotter. Was there. Kendall Coley was there. Turner gets it go, and yeah, it was Trotter that skied there and got that. And here comes Ostad, number 7, with the lead. There's the set, and number 23 for the Hornets brings it home. 23 is Macy Nielsen, of course, the junior outside hitter. Ties it up at 17, and we are in a great match here, back and forth, several lead changes. It's been that way all night through games 1 and 2. Serving there is number 2, Ella Haugen. And we got a whistle and point to Edina. They take a 1-point lead. Haugen to serve again. Puts that hand up there, kind of like a salute before she tosses it. And Windward looking for some opening. Check saves it in the back row. Turner delivers the kill shot, goes off an arm of St. Louis Park, and now Edina opens up a 2-point lead. Haugen to serve again, up 2. Big game here, number 3, and Edina now gets another point. They go up 3, and timeout wisely taken by the St. Louis Park coach, Whitney Mariotto Simon. Boy, this is a carbon copy of the first 2 games. Very close late, so we have a minute timeout. Very quiet here in the gym. Very intense match between these 2 teams. You can look at the brackets. Edina's number 4 seed, St. Louis Park is number 5 seed. So it should be no surprise that we are in a tight match between these 2 teams. It's exactly why we have the brackets as they are. It's the way it should be. The winner will take on number 1 ranked Hopkins on Halloween night at Cooper High School starting at 5:30 in the afternoon. So the Orioles come out of their timeout. Hornets are already waiting for them. Still serving is number 2, Ella Haugen. 5 points from victory are the Hornets, and a 2-1 margin in this best of 5. Trotter with the big spike, saved by the Hornets. Turner blocked at the net by the freshman, number 24, Kendall Coley. All 5'10" of her got that and put it right back in the face of Turner. Bang, look at that. Turner and Coley. Here comes Ella Trotter, the senior. Wow, well done there by number 14. Or no, does that go? That went off of them, so that is point for the Orioles. Trotter to serve again, now just down 1. Big serve there by Trotter. She is looking good still. And the kill shot attempt by Taylor Oberpriller. Not well advised. She was looked off center, kind of back from the net. Her momentum wasn't going forward, and that ball went, as a result, right into the net. Ella Trotter, big top spin heat serve, and she's reeled off 3 in a row and given the Orioles a 1-point lead with 4 points to go in the game. And now Edina takes a timeout. They will talk it over and see if they can stop the momentum of Ella Trotter serving, and her big high toss jump serves are very unusual, but they are very effective. She is showing no sign of fatigue. We'll see if the Orioles can maintain the mental toughness to carry it through as they did in game 2, or will the Hornets come storming back like they did in game 1? Hornets had a very, even though they called timeout, they really didn't have much to talk about. They're still hanging out the court. 20 seconds left, and Whitney Mariotto Simon, she's using all of her time to bestow her wisdom, experience, and guidance towards the Orioles. And now they will break their huddle with 5 seconds to go in the timeout. So here we go. Hold on to your hats. It's going to be wild here. Trotter to serve. Has she cooled off? And she has not cooled off. That ball was going in. That was a big-time serve. She puts those things so high up, and they come down at such a steep trajectory. 22-20, 2-point lead. She serves again. Another great serve, and they call that in right on the line. Wow, is she coming through in the clutch? That is big time. Look at that. Bang. Well inside the line. by a good 8 inches. 2 points from the victory, and she gets that in, and she is throwing another ace. Diving check for Edina, couldn't get it, and now we are at game point to take a 2-game lead. No timeouts. Trotter to close it out. She gets it in. This time the Hornets handle it. Turner with the spike, and Trotter can't save it, but still it will be game point. The Hornets are on very thin ice here. They have no room for air. They've got to rattle off 3 to stay in the match. Check to serve, Junior to stay alive in game 3. Windward with it, and the block goes out of bounds. Point to the Orioles, and that means game 3 is theirs. They take a 2-1 lead in this best of 5. Come back to Hopkins High School and our broadcast for game 4. Welcome back to ParkTV 16 on location from Hopkins High School. We are bringing you 6 AAA quarterfinal volleyball, and this is the quarterfinal round. And we are bringing you St. Louis Park versus Edina. And if you're just joining us, you are in for a treat. This is one of the best volleyball matches I have ever seen. It's now 2-1 for the Orioles. Back and forth in all 3 games, many lead changes. And the last 2 games have gone to the Orioles, and they are the number 5 seed. Edina is the number 4 seed, so a little bit of an upset here in the making. We'll see if Edina will answer the door, because this is a match-deciding game. If the Orioles win, they will advance to the semifinals of 6 AAA Volleyball to face number 1 seed Hopkins next Tuesday night, and we're underway here. And the Orioles start out serving, and that ball goes long, just barely by Turner. So Orioles draw first blood in game 4, and they pick up right where they left off. Ella Trotter closed it out with 6 or 7 consecutive points in game 3 to give him the edge. Turner now with that spike, blocked by Ostad, or bumped up there, and Trotter tries to dink it over, and she does. Haugen saved it, and the dunk there blocked by Coley at the net. That was number 24. And oh my goodness, what a sequence. But Turner in the end was able to dink it over the net, and the Orioles could not come up with it. So score tied 1 early here. Game 4. To serve is Check. And that's the bump by Ostad, goes over the net, and we got a violation on the Orioles, and they will give it to Edina for Check, and she will serve again. She's got 2 in a row. And a 1-point lead early in game 4, and that is the bump by Lindgren. McIntosh to Windward, and she sends it in. Wow, they are hitting the lines all over the place tonight. These Orioles are playing spectacularly. 2 games to 1 lead in the best of 5. Tied all 2-2 here, game 4. Trotter to serve. She's having a stellar night. Oh my goodness, Graf's kill shot was powerful. Trotter almost saved it. 3-2 lead. Now for Edina, substitutions. Elena Bohr now in, number 7. She's dangerous on the front row. Now to serve is number 4. For Edina, that is Kat Warpinski. Ostad with the bump. McIntosh with the bump. And Windward with the spike attempt, blocked at the net by Bohr. And I believe with her, was number 8, M.K. Sipes. And that went off the Orioles' arm and gives Warpinski and the Hornets a 2-point lead at 4-2. And Windward with a dunk shot, and she successfully executes it to stop the mini bleed and give St. Louis Park a point and the side out. So back to serve is number 6, Steady Maddie McIntosh. Number 6 to serve. And that ball goes in. Czech makes a mental error there. She thought that ball was going long, and it jumped in there. It was well in. There you can see right there. There's no doubt about that. So great serve there by McIntosh, and she puts another one deep right at Czech. Very smart play. Czech is having some difficulty there in the back row. Let's see if McIntosh goes right back at her. Common logic would say yes, keep serving it at her until she can stop it. Let's see what she does. She goes right at her. This time Czech comes up with it. Warpringer with it. Now McIntosh to Windward. She sends it to the deep row. Czech, nice bump there. And Graf with the spike goes off Windward, and Reagan Alexander at the line, or at the net, and that gives the point and the ball to Edina, and we're all tied at 5. Oberpriller serves it, and the dunk by Windward, and this time it works again. She's executed 2 of those out of the last 3 points, and she will now serve with a 1-point lead. Thanks to her beautifully timed dunk shot. Bohr could not handle it. Along with number 2, I believe it was Ella Haugen. Well done there by Windward, and she serves. Haugen to Bohr, and that ball is blocked, or I don't know if it got over the net. But that was Reagan Alexander, number 14, was right there to meet the challenge, and now a small 2-point lead here for the Orioles, and Windward, number 15, to serve. Czech gets the bump. Haugen to, that's number 8, M.K. Sipes. Comes, or no, that was number 9, Graf. My mistake. Graf comes through with the big spike, and she will serve. Trotter with the bump. Lindgren with the spike. Off the back row, diving for it was Graf, and she could not save it. So the Orioles playing well here again in game 4, and we have a timeout on the court called by the Hornets coach Nicole Higley, and they will talk it over down to 1-minute timeout. What a match is going on here in this quarterfinal tilt between those Edina Hornets. They look very serious. Number 4 seed beat St. Louis Park 3-0 back on October 3rd in their home gym. Got off to a 1-game victory here in this match, and now have given up 2 consecutive games. A lot of team unity there with their arms around each other, listening intently to their coach. Heads bobbing, yes, giving them the pep talk. She's taking longer than usual. She took almost her whole time in the timeout that time. First time I've seen that. Usually the Hornets have been out there waiting for 10, 20, 30 seconds before the Orioles break the huddle. They still broke sooner. So let's see if the timeout has any impact on the momentum that the Orioles have had prior to the timeout. And out to serve is number 4, the senior Kim Lindgren. Orioles are by far playing their best match of the season right when they need to here in the quarterfinals. Lindgren gets it in. Here comes Turner with the spike, and she finds room between Lindgren and Windward for the Orioles, and that means side out and substitutions for Edina. Out comes Warpinski and Bohr. To serve is number 20, Masha Feldman, and she gets it in. Bumped by Lindgren. Trotter with the big spike, and did it go off in Edina hand? It did not. She sends it wide left of the boundary, and that means it's tied at 8. Get used to these. And that ball goes into the net. number 20, Feldman. Everything was off on that. The toss was low, a little ahead of her, and that's why it resulted in the net. So now another 1-point lead for the Orioles. And into serve is number 8, Addie Ward. She's had a great night at the service line. And that ball gets bumped right up to number 24, Kendall Coley. The bump was out of control, got just over the net, and there is nothing that number 2, Ella Haugen, can do with that. So 2-point lead now, and another service attempt for Addie Ward. Turner with the spike, and she finds room, goes off Lindgren's hand, I believe. Wouldn't have mattered. That ball was going in. More substitutions on either side. Wargs takes a seat. Reagan Alexander comes out for the Orioles. Haugen now to serve. Number 2 for Edina. McIntosh with the bump. Hannah Howell with the spike, and on the rebound, Kendall Coley, the freshman, is right there to put it away. It all started, though, with Hannah Howell's serve. She had so much pace on it, and much like a goaltender, sometimes can't control a hard slap shot and serves up a rebound. That's exactly what happened, and Kendall Coley was there. And following that up is a great serve there by Ostad. Julia Ostad is a great server for the Orioles, and she now opens up a 3-point lead for St. Louis Park. And she gets that one in, handled by Czech, Haugen, and they're gonna have to play defense with number 14, Taylor Oberperler, getting it over, and now the Orioles are playing defense. Here comes Turner. Oh, not a good set, so they play defense. So both teams on the defensive, and here comes Trotter. Oh, she mishits the spike, and it went awkwardly off her right hand and just went straight out of bounds. So a mishit there by the Orioles. Gives the serve to Taylor Czech for Edina, and here she is. Bumped there by Lindgren. Ostad to Windward, and she sends it to Czech. Graf, and Czech has to play defense. Chance for the Orioles. Ostad to Windward, and she hits it, blocked at the net, and a save attempt by Graf. Boy, I question why she tried to go after that with just one knuckle there. Probably trying to get some pace on it, but that makes it 10-13, and Trotter will now serve. Oberperler comes through for the Hornets. That big left-handed spike by her, that was huge. Watch this, everything going in forward motion, and nothing the back line for the Orioles could do. So now to serve once again is Kat Warpinski, the sophomore. Lindgren handles it in the back row. Kendall Coley's spike is handled by Edina. Oberperler once again, saved by Trotter, but only temporarily as her attempt sailed the ball out to the side and out of bounds. So point to Edina's Kat Warpinski. She serves again, and it just barely makes of the net and finds it, almost found a soft spot. I don't know if that was intentional. Double hit there by the Orioles gives the point, and now it's tied at 13, and why shouldn't it be? It's the way it's been all night. Warpinski to serve for her 3rd in a row. Number 4 for the Hornets, there she is. Ball over, and Trotter can't handle that one. Some fatigue may be setting in. Edina now with the lead. It's been a while. 14-13, and a timeout. Wisely taken by Whitney Mariotto Simon, the head coach for the St. Louis Park Orioles. And the gym falls very quiet in these timeouts. The crowd that is here, they sense the intensity. There's our Facebook page for the city of St. Louis Park. Check it out, find out all the services that your government provides, including what we broadcast here on ParkTV 16 Sports. We provide a lot of sports action, and there's a lot of great high school athletes in this community. You don't have to know them to appreciate how well these people play and how entertaining the action is. And tonight is no different. Best of 5 playoff quarterfinal match between two big suburban schools of Minneapolis. It's 14-13, 2-1 lead for the Orioles. Trying to pull off the upset here in this quarterfinal round. Coming out of the timeout now, number 4, Warpinski is on a roll. 4 points in a row going for number 5. And she gets it in, picks up right where he left off. Lindgren's gonna try to end it, and her dink shot is saved by Edina. Addie McIntosh to windward, blocked at the net, saved in the back row. Here comes Graf, and in the back row, Ella Trotter has a hard time handling, and most of us would. Bang. Look at the power of that shot. And now a 2-point lead for the Hornets. They've been down most of the match so far, but here at just past the halfway point, they take the lead to trying to even the match up at 2 games apiece. That dink shot causes Edina a little bit of problems, and they dink them back. Number 14, Oberpriller, saw it out of the side, corner of her eye, and McIntosh couldn't get up there, couldn't recognize it in time to save it. So Warpinski on a roll. And Elena Bohr tips that one just right to now contribute to a 4-point lead for the Hornets. Warpinski serves again to the back row. Ostad, who's gonna end the bleeding? Trotter makes an attempt, and it just goes long. And now it's 18-13, and another timeout taken by the St. Louis Park Orioles. Here is that attempt. Yep, it was just long. So now Edina, very short use of the timeout, although they didn't call it. And probably wisely so, things are moving along. So the Hornets will take the court with a full 36 seconds to go in the timeout. Meanwhile, as they almost always do, the Orioles are taking up all the time. On the bench there, that's number 2, Trotter on the left, Lindgren, McIntosh, Windward, and Ostad coming into the match. No, there is a substitution. That is number 24, Kendall Coley. So Trotter, McIntosh, Lindgren in the back row, in the front row. Coley, Howell, and Ostad. Here we go. Warpinski on a roll. Will she keep it going? Windward trying to end it, and she does. Graf and Bohr were at the net, but were unable to block it successfully back over the net, and so the bleeding stops. Well taken time out there by Coach Mariotta Simon, and now McIntosh. Steady Maddie McIntosh gets the ball in. Bohr with the big spike, blocked at the net. And that attempt also finds open floor for Edina. It was tipped at the net, and that caused the ball to find the opening, and the Orioles could not save it. So now Edina's number 14, Taylor Oberpriller, the senior, to serve. Ostad to Reagan Alexander, and another point for Edina. And now they are the first team for the first time all night to reach 21st. And they have a 6-point lead, so this is not exactly following the pattern, at least in the fact that it's usually St. Louis Park leading at the 20-point mark. Let's see if the Orioles can mount a comeback. Big spike there by Windward. Graf's shot is weak. There's McIntosh to Windward, and her dink attempt shot does not even get over the net. And if it had, Bohr and Graf were there to meet it. And now Edina 4 points from tying the match up at 2 apiece. Ostad tries to trick him, and it did not work. She tried to misdirect the ball quickly, and they were waiting for it there at the front line. Bohr and Graf, number 9 and 7. So it's 22-14. Edina closing in on game 4. And Lindgren with the spike attempt, and that sails wide. So game 3, or game 4, starting to slip away here for the Orioles as Edina is starting to dominate here. Oberperler to serve, gets it in. Trotter in the back row. Ostad to Reagan Alexander, and she stops the bleeding. So now down 8. St. Louis Park needs to get hot at the service line. They need to reel off 6 to 8 points here to really make a real comeback. So here is Windward, number 15, to start the attempt. And she gets it into the back row, and Elena Bohr ends that attempt on the very first serve and gives Edina a game point here in game 4. And to serve is one of their most prolific servers, Graf, number 9. Game point to even the match at 2. Lindgren stops that from happening with a great spike from the left side. Finds the angle in the open space on the floor. Watch this, well placed, bang. And boy, did she bring the hammer down on that. 24-16, and now she'll serve. Trying to carry that momentum. They still have a long way to go to catch Edina here. Game point once again. And she gets it in. No room for error for the Orioles. And Elena Bohr's attempt is blocked, but it looks like there was a net violation by the Orioles. So that gives game 4 to the Edina Hornets. Games are tied at 2 apiece. Come back for the deciding game 5.
Senior Helpers provides essential information, in-home care, and support for seniors living with Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia, and other disabling diseases. We spoke with renowned occupational therapist Teepa Snow about some of the myths surrounding Alzheimer's disease.
Some of the myths about dementia and Alzheimer's is that people aren't trying and that maybe we should push them harder. There's a point at which the brain is dying, and so people are doing the best they can in that moment. What we could do is change how we go about it. Another myth is that it's all genetic. Not necessarily. Lifestyle matters. How we live our life makes a difference. We also know that not everybody will get it. It's not something that for sure as you age you will develop.
For more information on Senior Helpers, please visit us online at seniorhelpers.com. Senior Helpers is a member of the Alzheimer's Foundation of America.
Welcome back to ParkTV 16 on location from Hopkins High School. I'm Robert Christensen, and what you see on your screen is exactly accurate. We are in a war here in the quarterfinals of the 6AAA Girls Varsity Volleyball. This is the deciding game 5. We're only going to 15 for game 5. Whoever wins this moves on. Whoever loses it is done for the year. Winner will take on Hopkins, the number 1 seed in this section, next Tuesday night, Halloween, at 5:30 p.m. at Robbinsdale Cooper High School. So here we go. First 1 to 15 wins by 2, moves on. Haugen with the serve for Edina. Windward with a huge spike from deep off the net, and boy, did she come to play. Look at how high she jumped, and wow, was there some power. St. Louis Park has served notice. They are not going away. And Turner with the spike attempt, and unfortunately, Kendall Coley just couldn't quite handle it, so Edina evens it up at 1, and that means Taylor Check will serve for Edina. First 1 to 15, a shortened game amount in game 5. Ostad to Lindgren, and she lets it fly, and it goes off Edina's back row and off an overhang, and that means point number 2 for St. Louis Park. They are 13 points away from advancing to the semifinals. Maddie McIntosh gets it in, deep row. No time here for missing first serves, and boy, Oberpriller, number 14 for the Hornets, serves notice right back. Take that, St. Louis Park. Wow, big lefty kill shot. And now to serve is Kat Warpinski, tied at 2. She had a great service game in game 4, largely responsible for Edina's win. And Reagan Alexander, saved by Edina. Warpinski gets it over. Chance for the Orioles to go up 3-2 here. And they do. Number 14, once again, Reagan Alexander. The freshman, 5'10", first line hitter there. And out comes Ostad in for the Orioles is Howell, number 16 on the front line. To serve is Windward, number 15, Michaela, just a sophomore. She started off with an unbelievable kill shot. And here goes Graf, and that is saved by steady Maddie McIntosh. And the ball goes awry, but Lindgren finds an unbelievable angle right along the net, and it just dived. Watch this. That looked like it was planned. Wow, what brilliant creative shot that was by Lindgren, and a 2-point lead here, 11 points from the semifinal, and that ball goes in. Check nervously laid off of it, giving St. Louis Park a 3-point lead. Windward now has rattled off 3 in a row. And a quick timeout by Edina, 1 minute. And that was smartly done by their coach, Higley. They do not want this to get out of control. As everyone knows, volleyball is a game of momentum. There is Whitney Mariotto-Simon urging on her team. There's Ella Trotter standing there, Maddie McIntosh, number 6, Reagan Alexander, number 15. There's Windward giving a hug to Hannah Howell. And on the far end there is Julia, no, that was Addie Ward, the sophomore outside hitter. Orioles are having a heck of a night here, trying to move on to the semifinals. Edina already out on the court. That was just a timeout to stop the momentum. Orioles break huddle. Windward back to serve, going for 4 in a row. 10 points from the semifinals. Check there. And the set to Oberpriller, and she sends the big left-handed kill shot long, giving St. Louis Park their 6th point. And Windward to serve again. Gets the back row, check handles it for Edina. And Graf with the serve goes off. Reagan Alexander at the front line, so that means point inside out to Edina. They stop the bleeding. 6-3. St. Louis Park is 9 points from a playoff meeting with the number 1 seed, Hopkins. Lindgren with the big spike from the left side. Her second effective shot in this deciding game 5 gives St. Louis Park a 4-point lead, matching their largest of this deciding game 5, and that means service honors go to Kim Lindgren, that woman right there, number 4. Trying to upset the Edina Hornets. Jump serve, she gets it in. Haugen to Graf, blocked at the line by St. Louis Park, but unsuccessfully, so point inside out to Christine Graf, number 9, the junior outside hitter for Edina. Down 3. And she gets it in. McIntosh, nice bump over to Trotter. She lets it fly, and it works. Point number 8 to the St. Louis Park Orioles. They are just over halfway to the semifinals. Just have to get to 15 here in game 5. An epic match between these two great schools. Lindgren, no, that is Addie Ward to serve again. She's had an outstanding night serving. And she continues. Big, powerful shot. Turner with it, not much on it. She takes that one. She was leaning back, ill-advised, sends that long. The momentum was going backwards, and that's why that ball sailed on her. Nice decision there by St. Louis Park to not bite on that ball. In other words, to try to hit it. And now into, oh, wait a minute. That ball went to Edina. I missed why that didn't go their way, or that why didn't it go St. Louis Park. Yeah, there must have been a violation I did not detect. So anyway, Trotter bumps it. That's number 20, Feldman in the back row. Big spike attempt by 23, Macy Nielsen is met with a brick wall. Hannah Howell, number 16, gets it. Bang, right there, along with Kendall Coley. And that means point and timeout. 9 points now. They are just 6 points away from a semifinal match. I don't know what St. Louis Park's history has been in these section playoffs, but something tells me this will be a breakthrough for them to get to the semifinals. They have basically a very young team, 4 freshmen, all 5'10". A few very good seniors, obviously, in Trotter and Lindgren, and let's see, Hannah Howell, she's just a 9th grader. They are a young team on the rise in this section, about to possibly upset Edina in a marathon 5-setter. We're coming up on the 2-hour mark. Both teams still look fresh. Edina now coming out of the timeout. Coming in is number 4, Kat Warpinski. Back to serve is number 7, the other great senior, Julia Ostad. 6 points from the match. Nice serve, deep row check, struggles with it. They're gonna have to play defense. Chance, and that was an unfortunate bump by Ella Trotter. She pointed at herself. She knew that was not well done. Right there, served it right up there for Turner. It was an easy kill shot for her, and that might change the momentum. Let's see if St. Louis Park can still hold on. They still have the edge. Lindgren to Ostad. Windward has to play defense. Gets it in the back row to check. And over Priller, over hits it. Sends it wide, gives the point to St. Louis Park. And now Ella Trotter, arguably their best player and their senior leader here. Very talented, a chance to make up for that last one. And she hits that famous serve back there, back row. Turner answers. Well done by Edina. They got a nice return on the bump, and the set and the spike was perfect. Well done by Edina. And now they have 7. St. Louis Park 5 points from victory. Lindgren doesn't thread the needle. She struggled with that bump, and it just curved, and she didn't quite catch. Boy, that looked like it was in to me, but maybe not. Another timeout on the floor, this time taken by Mariotto Simon. Let's see where that ball lands. Oh, that on the line, that's in. Unless there was a violation of the net, but I thought that ball was in. That ball's on the line, that is clearly in. The referee was standing right there. Well, you gotta, if it was in fact the wrong call or we missed a violation, regardless, it's 10-8. We're in game 5, first one to 15 wins by 2, moves on. Bad calls go on both sides. Gotta overcome adversity. All right, here comes Taylor Check, the junior, libero. Trying to get Edina back in this one late in game 5. Oh, nice serve by her. Lindgren struggles with it. They're playing defense. Trotter bumps it over. Look out, here they come. It's gonna be Graf with the honors. Trotter this time with an excellent saving bump. And Windward answers back with a kill shot, saved by Edina. Here comes Graf again, and it goes off Kendall Coley, number 24. And now Edina's drawn within 1 point. 10-9. Check to serve again. And how else should it be? This is the way it's been all night for all 2 hours of this great match. Check to serve, back row. Trotter handles it. And a poor set, but then they get another chance. But here comes Edina, and Graf blocked at the net. I think that was Windward who got it, number 15, or was it Kendall Coley, number 24? One of the two, or maybe both of them. Not a great attempt there. Actually, it went off the net. They were there, though, so neither one touched it, and they didn't touch the net. That's the most important thing, not drawing a violation. And now they're 4 points from the semifinals. Here comes Graf again, and this time she finds her form and nails that down. Great kill shot. Much better set for her on that one, and that brings up service opportunity here for Kat Warpinski, the sophomore. Trying to tie it up, and that bump gets away from Trotter, and now it's tied at 11. First one to the next 4 points by 2, moves on. Edina has clawed their way back into this one. And saved by Maddie McIntosh, and McIntosh comes to the rescue once again. Here comes Haugen to Graf, and Maddie McIntosh saves that one brilliantly, and she saves it again. Here comes Graf, and she finds pay dirt. Boy, you give it to her too many times, and she is just too good. And she looks on her game. Look at the fake to Bohr, and then Graf just brings the hammer down, and a 1 point lead, and Edina still has it. Graf to do it again, and she finds Bader. She's on a roll. 4 kill shots in a row, 3 have been good, and that's a timeout taken by the Orioles as they are now on the brink of elimination suddenly. Edina finds themselves just 2 points from the match. We are almost exactly 2 hours into this 5-game marathon, and what a match it has been. Back and forth. I don't know how many lead changes throughout all 5 games. Dozens. And here we are, just 2 points separates these 2 schools with the right to go to the playoff semifinals against Hopkins Royals on Halloween night here at 5:30 at Robbinsdale Cooper High School. Let's see what happens. Hornets are already out on the court. Here come the Orioles. Lots of intensity in the gymnasium here. This has been a war. Warpinski has made a big difference from the service line, and she is on a roll again. This time McIntosh to Windward, and she finds relief for the Orioles and a point, and she will serve. Out comes Ostad, in comes Hannah Howell, 5'10" freshman. So 2 freshmen and a senior at the front line. McIntosh in the middle, Ella Trotter on the back line to serve Windward. To check, to Haugen, to Graf, and she comes through. And now it is game, match, point. Double match point here for the Hornets. They got to get one of the next 2, and they will move on. Windward to Howell, blocked at the front. Check saves it. Now Graf, and she wins it. She closes it out. Number 9, Christine Graf wins it for Edina in a marathon 5-game match, and the whole crowd is standing in appreciation for the great volleyball performances put on by these young women tonight here, but unfortunately for the Orioles, they give it away at the end and they lose 3-2. That means Edina will move on to the semifinals next week against Hopkins, and that will conclude St. Louis Park Orioles volleyball season. They had a great season and they will be great next year. They have a lot of young talent. I'm Robert Christensen for Paul Broden, our producer, and everyone at ParkTV 16 Sports. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again.